So our clients consistently see 30 to 45% of their total store revenue coming from their Klaviyo accounts alone. And a huge portion of that comes from evergreen email and SMS flows that run in the background and generate sales completely on autopilot. Now, there are 6 core email and SMS flows that every brand needs to have built out and optimize, or else they're leaving thousands of dollars on the table. So in today's video, I want to break down each of these 6 core flows, why they're so important, and the exact flow outlines that we use for our clients. So with that, let's get right into it. Okay, so before I get into each of the flows, I do want to kind of walk through why they are so important in the first place. And all of the flows that you're gonna see on here, none of them are super novel. You can find a ton of videos on YouTube that kind of explain different variations of the same flows that I am going to show you here. But what I think a lot of other videos don't kind of harp on very well is the why behind all of these. So that's kind of what I want to walk through here. So you can see here, this is your e-com funnel, right? So you have your customers or your site visitors here, and you may acquire those site visitors from things like your social channels or paid ads, SEO, UGC, those kind of things. And you get all of these customers funneling to your Shopify store. And then once they're on your Shopify store, there's this funnel here that they walk through all the way down to purchasing a product. So first they'll view your product, then they'll add something to their cart, then they'll start the checkout, and then they will finally purchase that product, right? And you can see here at each of the different points along the funnel, less and less of your site traffic actually makes it to the next point. So people that just land on your store, even less of them are actually going to click and view a product. And then from the people that viewed a product, even less of them are going to add a product to their cart. And then of the people that added a product to their cart, even less are going to start a checkout. And even less of those people that started checkout are going to actually purchase in the end. So it gets less and less and less, and people fall out at each of these different points along the funnel. Now, why these flows are so important and why these are the core flows is because at each of these points, we are going to capture these people within our automated flows that we have set up. So now, instead of those people just completely leaving, they're going to get captured by the welcome flow. They're going to sign up for your email list. Then once they get it to Fuse product for these people that leave, now there's that browse abandonment flow that will capture them and put them in a sequence. Then add to cart, they'll be put in the abandoned cart flow. For the people that made it to starting a checkout, they will be put in the abandoned checkout flow. And even the purchases of product, they're not necessarily falling out of the funnel, but we do have a flow here at the end to continue to nurture them, and it's a really good opportunity for upsells and cross-sells. So that's why these are the core flows that every e-commerce brand should have set up, is because it captures these people that are falling out of the different choke points within your funnel. Okay, so with that, let's get into each of the flows here, starting with the welcome flow. So the welcome flow, again, this is the one you're probably super familiar with, but our welcome flow is about 7 emails long. Reason being, there is this rule in marketing called the rule of 7. And really all it is that consumers need to have on average, need to have about 7 points of exposure from your brand before they're actually comfortable with making a purchase. So we like to use that rule to build out 7 different emails in here to make sure that we're giving them all of those different exposure points. But the welcome flow, essentially someone gets added to your newsletter. In the first email here, it's really just the welcome plus discount. So we want to make sure that we're giving them that welcome offer that we advertised on our pop-up. We want to make sure that that is the main focus of the email. A lot of people are signing up for your email list purely to get that discount code and then get back to your website and continue shopping. So we want to make that as seamless and as friction-free as possible for them. So we don't want to do a lot of nurturing in this email, maybe a little bit, but we can save that kind of nurture type content for the other emails within the flow and make sure that this one is geared towards getting them back to the site and shopping. So that is the first email. We have an SMS that goes along with that one that also sends that welcome offer to them. After that, we have emails 2 through 5 here. And these are kind of those nurture type emails that we have in the middle of the flow. So just some examples that we use for ours. We do a brand story, so highlighting a little bit about what started the brand, what founder's story, kind of your mission. An us versus them email, just comparing your product to competitors of yours and highlighting any differences between the two. a social proof plus reviews, any publications that your brand has been in or your products have been in, any reviews that your customers have said about you, and then FAQs, handling any of those objections or those common questions that you may get about your brand and your products. These are just the examples that I have set up here. These can be pretty interchangeable and can be a little bit more tailored to your brand specifically. But in each of these, we're kind of just nurturing them in a different angle. And in each of them, we are giving a reminder of the welcome offer that they haven't yet taken you up on. Okay, so once we get through those 5 emails, then we are reminding them of their welcome offer. So if they still haven't purchased from this flow yet, we're just reminding them of that welcome offer that they signed up for. We are also sending them an SMS to go along with that. We're adding a bit of urgency on here saying that the welcome offer is expiring. And then the last one down here, if they still haven't purchased with their welcome offer, we are sending them a text-based email from the founder directly, really just kind of nudging them, offering to reopen their welcome offer for the next 24 hours, adding a bit of urgency there. So you'd be surprised at how many people actually convert here, as it is a bit of a pattern breaker. So that is our welcome flow. It's a bit longer than most that you'll see, but again, it kind of hits all of the different points that we want to hit. Moving on to the browse abandonment flow. So again, this flow is for people who view a product and then leave your site. So again, the trigger is views a product. The first email that we're going to give is a nudge. Now this flow is for people who aren't necessarily super high buying intent. All they've done to this point is landed on a product page. They haven't taken really kind of a buying intent action on the website yet. So we don't want to be too aggressive here. We really just kind of want to lightly nudge them to continue shopping and moving them closer down the funnel and closer to a purchase. So the first one that we have here is a light nudge. We'll just show them the product that they viewed. We might show them a few more products that are either our best sellers or ones that we think that they might like as well. So really just not pushy, not super over the top aggressive. It's really just a nudge. And then from there, we can do a bit of risk reversal. So maybe we'll highlight a unique selling point on the brand. Maybe we can talk about some of the risk reversals. Maybe you have a free shipping threshold that you get to. Maybe you have a return policy you want to highlight. Something that just kind of takes down their guard and gets them closer to purchase. And then lastly, just some testimonials or some reviews from your customers. A little bit of social proof to get them back on the store and continue shopping. So again, not super aggressive in this flow. We just kind of want to move them further down the funnel, and we don't need to be too over the top. Moving on to abandon cart and checkout. Now this flow, I lumped both of them together. So this is really 2 separate flows. And for the way that we do it is we set up the same flow. It's effectively the same flow. We just duplicate it and change the trigger. So abandon cart is for people who added something to their cart and then they left the store. Abandon checkout is for people who took that extra step to click the checkout button and then left the store. So it's 2 separate triggers and 2 kind of fall off points that we have within the funnel. A lot of the brands that we audit only have an abandoned checkout flow set up because a lot of Klaviyo accounts are actually missing the abandoned cart trigger. One that is started checkout and one is triggered off of added to cart. So make sure that you have both. But this flow, we need to be a little bit more aggressive. It is a longer flow, but these people are super high buying intent. They've actually taken a step to either add something to their cart or even make it to checkout, and they still haven't purchased. They just may need a little bit of a nudge to get them over the top. So the way that we like to do it is, first thing we'll do is we'll split by the over under of the free shipping limit. So if you have a free shipping limit on your store, any of the cart values that are over that free shipping limit will send to the left here. And then any of them that are under that free shipping limit will send to the right. And what we're doing with that is the ones on the left, we're just reminding them of the product that they abandoned. And then we're also highlighting that we're giving them free shipping to go along with that product. Now, it's a really good way to kind of offer them an incentive without actually offering them incentive. They already have free shipping, but it comes off as us adding something on top for them. For the people who are under that free shipping limit, it's the same exact email. We're just not doing that free shipping part of that. With that, we're also doing an SMS reminder for that cart. Again, same free shipping on the left here. Then we're doing a second nudge for that abandoned cart. Again, highlighting that free shipping that they have on the left, and then the same exact email, just no free shipping on the right. And then once we make it through that, if they still haven't purchased at that point, then we can highlight, some testimonials and reviews, a little bit more social proof, a little bit more of a nudge to get them over the top. If they still haven't purchased, then we can have their cart expiring down here at the bottom, adding a little bit of urgency. Hey, your cart is about to expire. And then if they still haven't purchased to this point, then we like to do a split on whether this is their first time buying from us or if they are a past customer. If they're a past customer of ours, then we're gonna send them a plain text email from the team. Okay, we notice you let your cart expire. Is there anything we can help with? Again, it's one of those pattern breakers, those plain text emails, and you'd be surprised at how well these do convert. If they haven't bought from us before and they are a first-time buyer, then we can give them a discount. One mistake that I see a lot of brands make is they do a discount in their abandoned cart email way too high up in the email. You can see that it's taken 4 emails by the time they get this discount at 4 different opportunities for them to convert. A lot of people give away margin in emails 2 or 3, and they don't really need to be. These people are super high intent site visitors, so a lot of the times they just need a nudge and not an extra incentive. And on top of that, this discount, if they've made it through this point, and they haven't bought from us yet, that means that they made it all the way through the welcome flow and they didn't take us up on that welcome offer that we gave them in the welcome flow. So what we do with discount is we're just giving that exact same offer that they haven't used yet and just highlighting it here again in the abandoned cart flow. So it's not really an extra offer that we're giving out to them. It's really the same offer that we're just re-offering to them. And then with that, we get into discount expiring to drive some urgency for that offer. And then lastly, we're sending them another plain text email. Hey, we noticed you let your cart expire. Basically the same exact email that we send here. So again, that's a bit longer than most people are used to, but these people are super high intent site visitors for you. They have a high buying intent. We want to make sure that we're a little bit more aggressive with these people because they're right at the cusp of actually purchasing. We just need to give them a little bit of a nudge to get them over the top. Okay, so that was the abandoned cart and checkout flows. Next up is the post-purchase flow. So the post-purchase flow really has 2 purposes. Number 1, it's a really good time for cross-sells and upsells for people who just purchased. But number 2, it's also a really good opportunity for some brand building and relationship building with your customers. There are some delivered emails that go out from Shopify when someone places an order, but they're really just kind of transactional emails. In the post-purchase flow, we like to give them additional updates on their order, tell them how to get the most out of their product, a little bit of product education. Nothing's worse than when you buy something from a brand and you get some buyer's remorse because you're not getting really any updates on the order itself. So we can kind of mitigate a lot of that buyer's remorse that people get from purchasing from you by having some really great communication through the post-purchase flow. So this is what it looks like for us. So it's right when someone places an order, we first split by how many times they've placed an order. So if they're a first-time buyer, we send plain text emails from the founder for each of them. But they're just geared a little bit differently, whether it's the first time for them buying, it's the second time for them buying, or they've bought from us 3+ times. It's immediate. Right after they place the purchase, they get an email directly from the founder thanking them for their purchase, maybe talking about the mission of the brand a little bit and how they kind of play into it as a customer, yada, 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 things like that. Then once we get past that, a couple days later, we do send them an email like this. So we're working on your order / checkout bestsellers. Again, great opportunity for cross sells and upsells. So we'll show them more products that maybe they haven't bought at that point or ones that we think that they may be interested as well. So a great time to kind of promote those products to them. After that, a little bit of product education. So this differs brand to brand to brand. A lot of brands have products that may require a little bit of education to get them to use properly. Nothing's worse than when a customer buys your product and you have a high return rate because you're not educating your customer properly on how to get the most out of that product. So we can mitigate that a lot here with a product education email. Kind of breaks down, the top steps to use to get the most out of the product, how different customers use the product. Maybe you have a consumable product or a food type product and you have recipe guides, things like that. So you can help your customers who just purchased from you get the most out of it. And then after that, we have a review request. So this is after they've received the product at this point, but this is a great time to ask for a review on your product and build your library of reviews that you get for your customers. Okay, so that was the post-purchase flow. Next up, we have the sunset flow. So this is the sunset flow. It doesn't really fall into that structure of capturing people as they fall out of the different points within your funnel. This one's more just for automatic list cleaning and keeping your list within Klaviyo clean. We do it triggered based off of has not engaged with our emails in the last 150 days. This may look different brand to brand to brand, but as an example, this is what that would look like. And then if they have not engaged with us in a while, we'll send them a check-in from the founder. Really, it's just, hey, we noticed you haven't been opening our emails in a while. And really the goal is to either get them to unsubscribe by themselves and clean your list, or get them to start re-engaging with your emails and get them back seeing your regular campaigns that you're sending out. From there, if they still haven't engaged with our emails, then we actually can send them a discount at this point. This is kind of a Hail Mary here. These people are going to unsubscribe anyways, so we can actually try to give a last-ditch effort of trying to get them to convert with an incentive. And we can be pretty aggressive at this point. And then after that, we are reminding them of the discount and that it's expiring a day later. And then if they still haven't engaged with that email to this point, then we can go ahead and automatically unsubscribe them to try to keep our list as clean as possible, keep our Klaviyo bill as low as possible so that we are getting the most out of the platform. All right, so now you have the exact Klaviyo flow outlines that will allow you to maximize your email marketing. And when set up correctly, these flows will consistently nurture subscribers, generate sales, and make sure none of your customers slip through the cracks, all completely on autopilot. Now, correctly implementing these flows still requires a lot of time, nuanced detail, and continual optimization. So if you want to skip all that and start seeing results right away, go ahead and click the first link in the description to book a call with us. We'll review your entire account and provide you with a roadmap on how to take your Klaviyo account from where it currently is to generating 30 to 45% of your total sales. Also, watch this video here breaking down exactly how we helped one of our clients generate 8 times more revenue from their Klaviyo account. All right, that's all for me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.